a lot of small changes can really turn a bad video to a funny and a good video.
Followers are just a number.
It's very different if you say, oh, I try to be a content creator, or I want to be a content creator, or if you say I am a content creator. Like, don't plan too much, just start. That's would be my number one advice. Just start.
When people think about content creator, they think they just overnight become a content creator.
Yeah, I mean, if you really try to improve yourself every day, practice every day, of course, sooner or later you see some progress. Most people spend time with planning stuff, and at the end they don't start.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
It's not like we've talked already for 2 hours before the podcast.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, so I want to tell everybody who are you first. So I'm very happy to sit down with Adrian Blanz.
Yes.
Okay.
But I think most of you know me as Unfollow Adrian or Other Adrian. Like, I just recently added my last name on social media, so most of the people usually, if they come up to me and speak to me, they say Unfollow Adrian.
How did you come up with the name, by the way?
Actually, I just wanted to find something simple and something that's easy to read, but also very memorable. Yeah, like something plain and simple. So I was like, you follow people on Instagram. It's funny if your name is Unfollow Adrian.
It is. If you didn't have that name, I think I wouldn't follow you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Good that I chose the name.
Yeah, so today the topic is actually super interesting, especially for me and most of my friends. And because I grew up in a very multinational, multicultural kind of background, which I find hard to identify myself belongs to somewhere. And I know you are half German, half Taiwanese. And
Yes.
tell us about who are you?
Okay, I'm Adrian. I'm half German, half Taiwanese. My mom is German. My dad is Taiwanese. But I grew up in Austria, Audili.
Yeah.
Not Australia, it's Austria. Actually, you confused that too. In the script, you were like, he grew up in Australia.
Yeah.
And actually, a lot of people mistaken those two because it's so similar. It looks like it's written so similar. But yeah, it's Austria in Europe.
Yeah.
But like Germany and Austria, it's basically the same.
Yeah, and also on top of that, you're also Gen Z as a full-time content creator.
Yes.
Because I do have a lot of Gen Z friends. They are super successful career-wise speaking. And of course, on the other hand, because you are so young, you are the youngest one in the workforce at the moment, and a lot of people don't know how to communicate with Gen Z. So that is why your highlight is gonna be like third quarter kid, Gen Z, full-time content creator, and I know you grew your social really fast in a really short period of time.
Yeah.
Tell us about like why you started journey and then how.
Okay, so actually, I've always wanted to be famous. Like that was, even when I was a kid, I really liked attention and I really being in the center of attention. Like I don't know, I really liked that as a kid, and I always wanted to be. I always looked up to the actors and stuff. And that was basically my dream, to be like that one day. I mean, I'm still not there, but you know that. I mean, it's still my dream.
Yeah.
And actually, during my studies and stuff, I never really chased that goal. And then a year ago, I was like, "Fuck it! I'm gonna quit my job and I'm gonna just travel and move somewhere else and just pursue my dreams."
Yeah.
Basically. And I did that. I came to Taiwan and I started with doing YouTube, and that worked pretty well. I made like in the first 6 months, like I came to Taiwan almost exactly a year ago, and the first half year I started with YouTube. I only did YouTube, no Instagram, and I made 20K in 6 months, which is okay if you start from nothing. I think that's a pretty good achievement. But I didn't, in the content I was making, it was Uyghur inside Taiwan. And that's basically, you're a foreigner in Taiwan and you just try things for the first time and stuff. Like, it's a niche here. There are a lot of foreign YouTubers that do that kind of stuff, and it works pretty well. But I didn't see any future in that content. There was like maybe 100K, and that's the maximum, because usually you target the Taiwanese audience and usually a little bit older people. And that's when I started with Instagram and posting Instagram reels, and that went off like that worked out pretty well. Like when I started and the first video went viral, and then I grew very fast.
Yeah.
And like in February this year, we have beginning of November now, and I started end of February. I had 1,400 followers on Instagram, and now it's 430K
Yeah.
in 8 months.
It was so crazy because yesterday when I checked your Instagram, I wanted to make sure the number I got is right. So okay, 410K. That's the number I'm going to give tomorrow. And
Yeah,
then
it's really crazy. But I'm so happy for that it worked out, because that was why I quit my job, and that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I did it, and it worked out. So I'm like super happy, and I'm super grateful also, like, for the Taiwanese people that helped me film everything. Like, I'm just very grateful for the last year. It was really a big career step for me, and it's only the first step for me, like getting big on social media. And now I want to change it a little bit. I want to go into acting, but yeah, I'm happy.
Okay, and like let's start from the beginning. So you said from the beginning you flew to Taiwan only for shooting contents and stuff. Why Taiwan though? Like I know you have the heritage, but do you have any specific reason?
Not really. The thing is, I have family here, but I'm not like super close with them, and I also don't live with them. It's just family here. Like, it's not that I see them every day or so.
Yeah.
But that was also a factor why I chose Taiwan. But also, I think because first I wanted to get fluent in Chinese. I didn't grow up with Chinese. My dad is Taiwanese. In Taiwan, we speak Mandarin Chinese. But my dad also grew up in Austria, basically. He's Taiwanese, but he grew up in Austria. I didn't grow up with Chinese. I learned it by myself during COVID. I started. And because I wanted to speak more fluent and more daily, I want to have more practice. So I thought like Taiwan is a good place. Taiwan, China, Singapore, where else can you speak Chinese?
I think we have a lot of communities around the world. I think US especially.
Yeah, but I don't want to. Yeah, it's not like you're in a country with the native language is Chinese. I can move to Chinatown somewhere in the States, but it's not the same. So that was a big point. And also because I feel like I'm a little bit more special here in terms of I'm a foreigner, I'm taller, and I'm just different a little bit. So to stand out here is a little bit easier for me. So I was like, yeah, I tried Taiwan.
Yeah.
And I also love Asian culture, like especially Taiwan, also because like of my background. But those were like the two main points. Like I stand out more, and I thought it's easier, and it was. And learning Chinese.
Okay. Like from the time you decided, okay, I decide to go full-time content creator until you actually act out, how long does it take?
You mean like until the first time I made money, or like the first time I was like, I don't have to work another job again?
No, it's okay. I decided to quit today, and then.
Oh, okay.
And then
I know what you mean.
When did you book the ticket? Right.
The thing is, I quit my job in February 2022.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I stayed in Europe for another 6 months because I wanted to spend another summer in Europe, and summer in Taiwan is bearable hot. You know, it's like really, it's really hot and humid. So I was like, yeah, I'm just spending like 6 months in Europe and develop like the editing skills and like just trying out things. I edited some YouTube. I started with YouTube and like just learned some basic skills I need. Also like learning Chinese. And then after summer, I went to Taiwan pretty spontaneous. I was like, yeah, next month I will just move to Taiwan. And then I applied because at that time COVID was still a thing. So I could enter Taiwan because I have family here. So I got the tourist visa, but usually at that time you weren't able to come to Taiwan unless you're like a student or for working. But for tourism, it wasn't really possible. And then I came to Taiwan, and 2 weeks after they changed all the regulations, and then it was available. And I still had, but it was okay. It was like half a year until I really made that step and go to Taiwan. But it was planned. I did plan it, but I just didn't know exactly which date.
Yeah.
But I knew after summer I will go there.
I think also like when people think about content creator, they think they just overnight become a content creator. They didn't really think about, okay, you actually have editing and then you have to develop scripts as well. I do know that a lot of content creators in the morning, the first thing is, okay, today I need to shoot this and that, and then I need to have those footage to edit it. How do you feel about like this?
I mean, it can happen, right? Like for me on Instagram, it was like that, kind of. But also I was prepared. When I came here, I was prepared to work full time on my videos for at least a year until it takes off.
Yeah.
So I was prepared to spend a lot of time and energy on that. And I was actually really surprised that it took off that fast.
Yeah.
Because I was prepared to spend a lot of my time and energy into creating videos until I get some views and some more followers. But it was pretty fast.
Yeah, because I think on social media it's all about positioning. You have to position yourself in a very special place. So I would like to ask you, what's your educational background? You learned anything about that?
Before I answer that question, also I tried to do social media for a long time. Like
you did?
I was like, I tried to upload regularly on Instagram, but it was more for my private account.
Yeah.
But I always were like, it would be cool if it like blows up and then it like goes viral. But I never really I never saw it as plan A. And after I quit my job, I was only focusing like 100% of my energy in that career. So I had some content creation background, but not very successful background.
Yeah, you try it out.
Yeah. So I didn't start from nothing. So I already knew how to edit the videos, how I want my pics to look like. So I didn't start from scratch. So I had some content creation background, just not very successful background. So yeah.
That is amazing. Like then 6 months. So for the people who wanted to become a full-time content creator, do you think 6 months is enough for them to learn how to edit video or like script?
It depends on the person.
Yeah.
And some people are more talented. It's like in sports, I would say. Like some people are just more talented and have like better overview and know what they want and because there are a lot of small aspects.
Such as?
Like what makes a video look good, like the positioning of every single detail, and especially in the editing process, the music, the cuts you make. It's a lot of small changes can really turn a bad video into a funny and a good video. And it all comes down to your skills and how you want your video to look like. And I think just some people are more talented than others, I would say.
Do you consider yourself talented?
I would say yeah. I would say yeah, because but I also tried it for such a long time, and then it didn't really work what I did before, and then I just changed it, and I try to improve all the time, and now I think I think I'm maybe a little bit talented, but it's also a lot of work.
How did you do differently before and after you consider success?
It's just like small changes. Like when I see videos from back then when I started, it was like, why did I make the cut here? Why did I cut it a little bit earlier? Why did I put the text in this size here or not like a little bit lower? Like it's just small changes that I see now, and I'm like, I would have done it differently now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just experience after time.
Yeah.
Maybe today in a year I will say, why did I do it like that a year ago? Like why did I edit the video like that?
Yeah.
But it's a process. You always learn. And for me, I upload almost daily, and I try to improve with every video. And so, yeah, I mean, if you really try to improve yourself every day, and you work on that every day and practice every day, of course, sooner or later you see some progress in every aspect of life, I think. But your other question, sorry, I was like...
No, it's okay. I think it's very interesting as well, because I actually want to ask you is, so a lot of people didn't really take the first step. It's because they feel uncomfortable to see themselves in front of the cam. They don't want to hear their own voice. I think
being a content creator isn't the right...
Is it right for them?
The right choice for as a job.
Oh my god, I know,
You know?
so many content creators. It's like, I hate listening my own voice in a video.
Oh yeah, but I mean, you have to live with that, right? Like you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, true. Did you have that? Did you have that from the beginning?
Yeah, I mean, I always feel like, also like right now, because this is my better side. So usually I try to avoid sitting like the camera facing this side. But what should I do? Once I can't always have it that way, so I can, just try to live with that. Even if your voice is not perfect or you think it's not perfect, you should.
Yeah.
If you really want to do that, you should. Yeah, just do it and just fuck it. Just do it. Just take the first step. Actually, it's more in your head, and others don't really see that.
Yeah.
Like I asked people, and I was like, I look horrible on this podcast because it was my wrong side, and they were like, bro, you look the same. Like it's the same.
Yeah.
Like other people don't see it, but for me it was like, I look so ugly, and
Me too. And then like from the beginning, why this podcast I didn't do the video podcast was because I was so insecure about my look. But to be honest, just go ahead.
I just started. Most people fail at doing the first step, I think.
Yeah.
Most people spend time with planning stuff. I did too. They plan everything out. They have like plan what they want to do, and at the end they don't start.
Yeah,
That's like they plan everything and every possible outcome it can have instead of just starting and just trying it out. And I think that's the biggest lesson I learned this year. Is just start. Like just do the first step, and then the second step is like way easier. And then the first step, and then like you do a lot of small steps, and then you reach it sooner or later, your goal. Yeah. So that's what I think.
It's 0 to 1. It's 0 to 1, and 1 to N is way easier. So yeah. So how about your educational background? Like I would like to understand. Like nowadays, does education really still matter? Do you think in your eyes? Because a lot of younger generation I interview, and also a lot of audience right now listening are younger, and since now internet is so advanced, technology is so advanced, is education still important?
I think so. I think it's still important because also I grew up with that kind of mindset. It's like my parents were also like, finish your school, like you can do everything you want, but just finish your school, finish your university. And yeah, I did that. I finished high school, and after that I studied business psychology, and I finished that a year ago. Like I finished it, and
Does it help you with career?
In terms of my social media career, not. But in terms of helping me find what I want to do in my life, definitely. I always wanted to become famous and like being in that kind of like a content creator. I always wanted to do that, but I was never really able to take the step and really was like, I was always like, yeah, maybe working a full-time job isn't that bad. Like you get good money, maybe it's not that bad. And during university, I did a lot of different jobs and also like full-time jobs in offices and stuff. And that's when I really realized I really don't want to do this. And and I just speak for myself now, obviously office jobs it's not bad, it's just nothing I want to do. And yeah, that's really when I said, yeah, I can't do this. And I'm still young and I have a lot of motivation and energy. And if not now, when should I start it? 23. I turned 23 years ago. 3 months ago, sorry.
You were born in
2000.
Wow.
You?
Me? In front of the cam? I'm late.
You didn't?
I'm late, millennial, really late. I'm almost Gen Z. Wait, do you know how old am I? No?
I think you told me, but I forgot.
I'm not yet 30. So to say.
Okay.
Young, right? Dude, it's okay, right? It's okay.
Old yet.
It's not old yet.
It's not old. Oh, of course not.
Okay, so like since you moved to Taiwan for already almost 1 year?
Yeah, I moved to Taiwan in October last year. So it's like almost a year. It's November now. But
How do you feel about heritage-wise speaking? Do you see yourself 100% German, Austrian, Taiwanese?
That's a good
How do
question.
you self-identify your?
I would say, if people ask me, it's always a little bit difficult because I'm half German, half Taiwanese, but I grew up in Austria and I was born in Austria, and I never lived in Germany and I never lived in Taiwan, but I also have the German citizenship. So on paper, I'm German. So if people ask me, I would usually say I'm German,
Yeah.
but I grew up in Austria. That's what I say. But if you tell me what I feel like what I see myself as, I would say Austrian, because I just grew up there, and I'm just German on paper. You know.
Do you see yourself as Taiwanese?
No.
Not even percentage.
Yeah, I'm half Taiwanese, but when I come here, like, I'm a total foreigner. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. The first time I came to Taiwan in my life was when I was 17.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I never really spent time in Taiwan or lived in Taiwan. I don't really have a connection with Taiwan, unless my dad, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Did your dad bring any Taiwanese culture, Taiwanese kind of small things into your life? No, exactly.
You mean like in daily life?
Yeah, some small details. No?
Not really.
Like the food, for instance.
Yeah, like the food and like learning to eat with chopsticks and stuff like that.
Are you good at eating with chopsticks?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am.
Okay.
Yeah, I grew up. Yeah, and also my dad tried to cook a lot of Taiwanese, like Asian food, like Chinese, Taiwanese, and yeah, so we always had a little bit of that culture, but not like a lot, because he also grew up in Austria.
Are you good at cooking?
It depends on what dish. But
okay, what's your signature?
I think I'm pretty good at cooking lurofan.
No way.
Yeah.
For real?
Mm-hmm. Maybe you can show a picture or something. Some people, because I think most of your audience doesn't know how that looks like, the lurofan.
What's English for that? I don't know.
Braised pork rice.
Okay, that one.
It's like a bowl of rice with a sauce of pork belly, braised pork belly, but it's so good.
Really? And do you eat organ of the animal?
No.
So you're like full breed German, though?
Yeah, I don't like.
No, Austrian.
Yeah, no, I don't like that.
And do you eat chicken feet?
I tried it, but it's nothing I would order in a restaurant.
How about the blood?
The
blood tofu. Yeah, those.
I think it's okay.
Yeah.
You can really taste the blood. It's like just a black thing.
Yeah, it's just texture, right?
It's just but you can really taste the blood.
You can't.
Yeah. I tried a lot, and I'm willing to try. I'm pretty open to try new things in terms of food, and then in general, I'm pretty open to try new things. It sounds weird because I said in terms of food, so people may think why is he so specific about it? No, in general, I like to try new things, and like also I'm very open like to new cultures, and I try to see. I want to see like new countries. Like I'm very open-minded. I think I like to try a lot of stuff, but for me, like organs and like chicken feet, I don't really need that. You know,
okay.
Like, it's not one of my favorite dishes.
Yeah, it's true.
Especially Taiwan has so many good dishes.
Yeah.
Like, so much good food.
You know what? People normally don't know that Taiwan actually has one of the best food out there. People don't know that. You should promote us. No, I'm joking. But I do promote that.
I do.
Right?
Yeah, on my account, I do a lot of
food content.
I do a lot of food content too, because I just love food, and food in Taiwan is really good.
What's your fave Taiwanese food?
Lurofan.
Really?
Yeah.
And drinks?
Chenju Nai Cha, probably. Like
really?
The bubble tea.
That milk tea or
bubble
black
milk
tea?
Yeah, I always switch it up a little, but usually I drink regular bubble tea with hong cha and milk, or I just drink hong cha with chenju, bubbles with black tea.
Okay, do you have cultural shock when you moved here?
Actually, yeah, a little bit, because it was like I came here the first time was 17, and that was the first time I made contact with. I was in Taiwan. So before that, I never really knew anything about Taiwan, although I'm half Taiwanese. And actually, yeah, it was a culture shock because everything is different here. Like from the food, the people, the climate, it just, the smell, the street, everything is so different. And at that time, I weren't able to speak Chinese really, so I couldn't understand anything, and it was like everything was different.
You travel here with your parents, or
Yeah, with my parents.
Okay, so your dad helped you.
My dad can't speak Chinese at all, and he can't read at all.
For real? So he's full breed, like
he's
almost,
full Taiwanese, but he moved to Austria with his parents when he was a kid, and then they went back, and he stayed in school in Austria. He basically grew up in Austria.
Wow. Okay. What shocked you the most at the first time when you visit? Environment you already said, but like anything else?
Yeah, that the people are so nice here. For real, if you ever been to Europe, it's like you live in Munich. It's just so way more dangerous, and the people are much ruder, way more rude than.
But Europe is better than US, right? I think.
I've never been to the US, but I heard that it's better in Europe. From people wise, it's better in Europe.
Yeah.
But I've never been to like the States or like in America in general, so it's hard for me to make a judgment here. Yeah. But compared to Europe, Asia or Taiwan is so safe, and the people are so friendly and also open, and yeah, it's just, I love the people here. Okay. You know that you can leave your phone and everything on your table when you're at a cafe or something, and sometimes I'm at a cafe working, and then I go out and get something to eat. I eat, and then I come back and I just leave my stuff there.
Like hours.
More like 20, 30 minutes.
Okay.
But it's still a lot. In Europe, if you do that, your stuff is gone.
Yeah, it's true.
It gets stolen. Yeah, I really like that about Taiwan.
Okay, what you don't like about Taiwan? If there's any.
There are some things. For example, the salary, the pay, is really low compared to Europe. The working culture is crazy. It's like overtime all the time, and there's a lot of work, and the salary is really low. The cost of living are also low. For me as a European, I'm just used to more money. And what I also don't like is, right now for me, because I'm a content creator, the influencer marketing market here in Taiwan is pretty small, and it's not that advanced as in the West. So that's also why I want to leave Taiwan again. I think now it's time to make the next step. Like I've spent here, like I'm here in Taiwan for a year now, and it helped me a lot grow my social media. And I think now it's the best to leave Taiwan again and go to countries where like the influencer marketing is a little bit more developed, like social media marketing and stuff. Yeah. I think Taiwan is behind the West like 3 to 5 years in terms of social media marketing. Yeah. Because what I get a lot is like collaborations about YouTube ads, like 1-2 minute YouTube ads, or like 10-minute YouTube videos about a specific like brand, and I'm like, nobody wants to see that. Like just a reel, where a good Instagram reel or a good TikTok, with a good potential to go viral, is like much more useful to promote a brand than a 10-minute YouTube video about a product nobody wants. Because also nowadays with TikTok and Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, people are used to short form content. So if they want to see a YouTube video, it's mostly because they're really interested in the topic, and if the topic is an ad, I don't know.
But are you on TikTok? Sorry.
Yeah.
You are.
TikTok, Instagram, YouTube.
What's the audience base there? I don't know. I didn't check your TikTok, so.
How many? How much followers? 250K, I think.
And Instagram is like
430. But I don't really care about. I just re-upload my Instagram reels on TikTok, because TikTok, I feel like TikTok is dying a little bit. You can't really, and also the creators I talk to, TikTok is more, you have it and community. You can build a community. Yeah.
Okay.
Such a difficult word. I know.
Well, in German it's Verein. No.
No, it's also community. I would
Really?
say. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Alright, why you are actually the first Gen Z told me, okay, TikTok.
The thing is, on TikTok, you really can't build a community. I know content creators with 2 million followers that on TikTok, and they haven't posted for a month, and then they post a video and it gets like 10K views with 2 million followers, or like even less than that. And on Instagram, usually, if you have 2 million followers, it's just way better to build a community and because also on TikTok the algorithm is like okay. On TikTok, if you do you have TikTok?
Yeah.
Okay. You watch your following page or your For You page?
The thing is I try not to use it, so I
Okay,
ask
so most of the people also just watch their For You page.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter if you have 2 million followers. Your videos, every single video performs on its own. You know what I mean?
Yeah, algorithm is different.
Yeah, the algorithm is very different, and it's just not good for community building. Of course you can, but it's just not the same as Instagram.
Do you go live from time to time or not?
I did before that on my German account. 2020 TikTok. I did a German account for a month, and it went up to 40-50K, but I stopped that. So like private reasons. No, it was like it was just not time for me at that time to start with all of that.
Right now, I want to know what was the reason. If you
also I didn't get much support from my ex-girlfriend at that time, and so it was like, maybe I should just stop.
So you're a Cancer, right? You're a star sign. I think you're a loving sign. It's a loving sign.
Yeah,
so
very sensitive.
Wait, do you think you're sensitive?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have guessed because you we already talked 2 hours before this podcast, I think, and then how I got the feeling from you was more like, what do you want? And I want to do this. Tomorrow I want to travel, and then
but that doesn't have anything to do with.
Was sensitive in terms of relationship or in terms of like in general to like about all the things.
All the things. Like I know what I want, but it's still like I'm pretty sensitive. I would say.
Aww.
Like a lot,
Emotionally involved to things.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, very emotionally involved.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, which one you care about the most at the moment? You invest the most emotion?
Well, in my career, social media career.
Okay.
But it's I'm very invested with my emotions everywhere. You know, if it doesn't grow fast and stuff, or if it slows down a little bit, I was like, I don't know. But I would say it's more a hard shell and a very run.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Inside.
Yeah, I don't know how to say it in English. It's in German you say harte Schale, weicher Kern.
Oh, das ist so schwer.
It's like a hard shell and a soft soft core.
Yeah.
You know.
So it's like ice cold outside, but it's pretty warm inside. Oh.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Do you find your public perception is different from outside on the social media and actually who you are?
I think at the beginning it was, but right now, since I'm also uploading every day, I just can't play a character. I'm just myself. At the beginning, I was like, I wasn't too much myself because I was like, I want to keep that image, being cool, but if you upload daily, you just can't play a character. It's just too much work. You know? And also I want people to like me because of myself. You know? So
did it work out?
It worked out, yeah. And now I can actually upload almost everything I want, and people like it because they follow me because of me, and not because of just because I look good or like just because I'm tall. So that's pretty cool, I think.
And do you see other content creators or like anybody who want to start a career? They want to have a good setting in a specific segment or specific kind of vibe they want to give. Do you think that also works, or do you think right now people should just be themselves? Because it
depends what you want to do. And what, for example, if you want to do like, I hope I understood the question right, but if you want to do like food content or stuff, obviously you have to stay true to yourself and be yourself. But for me, it's like I want to build my account around myself. So all the videos are about me doing stuff or just me. But if you have a theme or a niche, obviously stick to that. But or is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Or like
Because I listen to a lot of podcasts about, especially from Charlie D'Amelio. She is the first TikToker hit 100 million view on TikTok, and when she hit it, actually she said her mental stage was the lowest could possibly be because you are pretending to be somebody else because people want to see you in a certain way.
Yeah. I can imagine that's pretty hard if you really want to keep that facade. Like the image, yeah. But for me, I try to be myself, and because sooner or later, people will see the true me.
Okay.
So there's no point for me to change who I am. If people don't like me, they don't like me. So if I were afraid of people don't like me because of the way I am, I don't know. It's like I don't want those people to
stay in your life in your community.
Yeah, to stay in my community. Like I want people to like me because of the person I am.
Yeah.
Instead of being somebody else, pretending to be somebody else, and for those few people, that
I think you realized this in a very young age. I would say because, speaking from experience and because my career, I also need to build up a certain personality image over there. I find contradictory a lot of time. It's really hard journey because we're in different sector. But just speaking for myself, and it's so hard. Yeah. So you just mentioned that back then you have German TikTok. Do you feel like you have different personality when you speak different languages?
Yeah,
you do.
I feel a little bit dumb when I speak English or like Chinese, especially Chinese, because sometimes I just don't know how to say things. How to express things, and German is my mother tongue, so obviously I sound the smartest when I speak German. Yeah, like it's
almost serious. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like sometimes when I don't know how to say, or sometimes I think like in English, I think is the grammar correct and is the sentence correct? Do you say it like that? Does it sound weird? There's a lot of thinking behind what I say in English. So obviously there's also a different personality then. Also like my humor is very different in English. In German it's way more sarcastic.
And dark.
A bit dark. A bit darker and a bit way more sarcastic. Like in German, it's very different, my personality. But the more fluent I get and the more practice I have in English, the closer those two personalities get.
Nice.
Synchronized, yeah. But in Chinese, it's a totally different thing. I sound so stupid in Chinese because it's really bad and I can't really express what I want to say. So I say it in a really, in a really low
quality or
low level, like
entry level.
Very entry level Chinese, and especially when I want to express like more advanced things in an entry level, it just sounds weird.
I think Taiwan, like Taipei especially, it doesn't require you to speak too fluent of Mandarin, right? Also,
the people are so nice. If you try to speak Chinese, they like to practice with you, or like they like to help you. It's the same when a foreigner comes to Austria or Germany, and I hear them practice German. Of course, I'm nice to them, and I'm like, yeah, go for it. And maybe you can say it like that. That's the correct, like helping them. Nobody's judging you. If you try to speak it yourself, it feels like you're not allowed to make mistakes and stuff. You know what I mean?
I know.
But
it's like the first time when I spoke German with you, I was so nervous.
Yeah. Your speaking part is like a native speaker, and it's just it's just weird a little bit.
It's all in your head. Okay, so I actually, the more I look at you in Europe, do they feel like you're a mix, or they think you're just?
Oh yeah.
Really?
They see
They see you're a mix straight away.
Yeah.
And
some people, most of the people.
And what kind of like
A lot of
perception.
people would guess like Mexican, or a lot of people would say Albanian too, because my name is Adrian, and I think Adrian is an Albanian name. A lot of people guess Albanian. I don't know why. I think because it's the name. But a lot of people would say South America, or Eastern Europe, something like that maybe.
Do you like it? Throughout
Which-
your life?
It's okay. Like, it's nothing that bothers me. I'm fine with it.
Right, like
And then people, if I say I'm Asian, people are usually like, I'm surprised more, but also a lot of people see that I'm Asian. But it's the nose, I think. The nose is from my mom. That looks very, very European.
I wish I have that. you
Really?
know? Yeah.
No, I don't like it.
You don't like your nose? Why?
I like it from the front, but not from the side.
Interesting. I think okay, turn. I think on the side looks really good. You mean because of here? Like,
It's just,
really? Right now it's pretty trendy. You're on
Yeah, I mean,
trend. You're on
okay,
trend.
that's a good thing. I didn't know that. But
Yeah. Asian aesthetic.
then maybe I shouldn't change it.
Right now, when people do the plastic surgery, they tend to want to have a little bit of
Really?
fat because it looks natural. If
Mm.
you do, it's just fake.
Well, see that.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Your English, your Mandarin is okay. When I say okay, which means German context, which means
Yeah.
pretty good.
I think it's really high how.
It's high up. Okay, so are you sustain yourself as a full-time content creator already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also did that when I didn't make any money.
Hmm.
I always, because I feel like it sounds very different than when somebody says, yeah, what are you doing? And even if you so if somebody comes up to you and he says, what are you doing? And it's very different if you say, oh, I try to be a content creator, or I want to be a content creator, or if you say I am a content creator.
Yeah.
You already make it your personality. You're already a content creator, even though you're not that successful, but you're creating the content. And actually, when I was just starting and people ask me what I do, I'm like, yeah, I'm a content creator. Like I'm
Yeah. It's a
shooting content for
mindset.
like Instagram and stuff. So I was already a content creator before I really was a content creator.
Yeah.
And at that time I had like 1,000 followers. And the thing is, I have a lot of content creator friends in Austria and Germany. So I was always like at the influencer parties, and then you're in contact with a lot of successful people, and they were like, hey, what are you doing? And I'm like, yeah, I'm a content creator, and I will move to Asia,
Wow.
and I'm gonna be big there. And then they were like, hey, cool, what's your Instagram? And then I gave them my Instagram, and at that time I had 400 followers. Okay, yeah, and I'm like, yeah.
What about now?
Yeah, it's like, but it wasn't like, yeah. At that, I always felt like I am a content creator. What was your question again? Sorry, I was.
It's good. I think building up the mindset is really important to pursue whatever you want to pursue. And I want to ask you, is financial wise speaking, can you sustain yourself as a full-time?
Yeah,
content
right
creator?
now I can.
Yeah.
But-
I don't want to ask your salary because it's not like polite in European culture that
Yeah.
I know.
It's okay, but right now in Taiwan, it's not that much. As I said, it's like the social media marketing, social media influencer marketing isn't that big here, so it's really not that much. But I hope it will change when I'm back in Europe.
Do you want to share your audience demography? How many?
Yeah, I can. On Instagram,
Yeah.
it's like I started in Taiwan, but most of my followers are from the United States, with like 15%, and then it's Brazil, Philippines, Mexico, Taiwan, and Taiwan is like only 5%.
Yeah.
But United States is the biggest with 15%, but I also I would rather have United States as a audience than Taiwan, because the market is just way bigger.
Yeah. It's so interesting because in your account, I always see you speak English, but you always have a Mandarin subtitle. Why?
It's just for the image. It looks more foreign and it looks more exotic. You know what I mean? For Western, because most of my followers are from the West, like not really in Asia. So for them, it just looks different. I stand out because I have the subtitles. It's just something different. And also I can practice Chinese by writing it. That's also...
Yeah. German efficiency, you know, do one
Ja.
thing, get two results. Yeah.
Like zwei Fliegen mit einer Klatsche.
Genau, I was thinking about that. Okay, so I think whoever you are listening to, because all my audience are either United States, actually United States are the most. My audience, actually, there are like 20%, 30% from United States.
Oh,
and
really?
then Germany, and then Taiwan probably, I don't know, third or fourth. So if you want collab by Adrian, right?
Text
you have
me.
a good...
Text me on Instagram.
Do you read? Oh, yeah, that's interesting. You have 400K followers.
I read most of them actually, yeah. I don't reply to most of them too because it just takes so long, but if I try to read every DM actually. And it depends. If I don't have a viral video or something like that, it's okay. It's not that many DMs.
Yeah.
But if like a video goes viral,
not many, which means 50.
no less, not maybe a day, I don't know, 20, 30.
Okay.
But you know, when a video goes viral, it's way more. It always depends on how your videos perform, how many people you reach. But I try to read every DM, but obviously I can't reply to everyone. You know, that's too much. But yeah, I'm also interested in the feedback and stuff, and I'm really surprised. I because I thought like once you get like bigger on social media, you get a lot of hate, but I didn't. So far, I really didn't have much hate.
Knock on wood. Okay.
Yeah. For me, I didn't really have them. I very rarely get bad comments or like bad DMs.
Yeah.
And
what's the worst comment you have ever received?
The worst comment, yeah, it's just like that. It's like just normal things like, oh, it's so cringe, or I don't know, something like that. It's not really, nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. But yeah, most of them are like really nice DMs and comments.
What kind
But also, I think my content is not that controversial. It's just about me eating stuff, or me being tall, or me sharing my skincare routine, or me sharing my outfit, like stuff like that. Like not too controversial.
Do you think you put 100% of yourself on the social yet?
What do you mean, like
on the social media? 100% of your personality?
No.
Like
it gets more and more. But it's not 100%.
What kind of personality you didn't show yet?
More like the sensitive side, and you know, I don't share everything on social media. I still keep things private. But yeah, if you follow my social media, I think you probably know a little bit pretty good how what kind of person I am.
Yeah.
But there are also, of course, like some more private things I won't share on social media.
Okay. I don't want to dig there, but okay.
No, it's like nothing too crazy, but just like
just privately.
Just my private life. Yeah, I don't share like everything. I don't share my sex life and on social media. You know,
he's open to explore, so you just he's open to explore. Okay.
But there's still
you're not underage, right? Okay, you're not underage. Okay. That I need to know. So, what's the one thing your audience would never believe you experienced?
I'm just checking the time because we got 1 hour, right?
No, it's okay. I can just add.
Okay. Oh, okay. One thing my followers...
would never guess you experienced, either cool or...
That's a good question.
Is it hard?
That's very hard.
Really?
Because I don't really have like traumas or anything that's like too crazy. I had a pretty normal life.
Oh my god.
It's like nothing too crazy that I would not share on social media. Oh, maybe, yeah, I was in a 4-year relationship.
Oh my god. But it's also a German thing.
Relationships? I think every...
long-term relationships.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, we got together with 18 and then we broke up last year, 22. So
long distance.
No, at that time I was still in Austria.
Yeah.
I came to Taiwan end of 2022.
By the time you already broke up?
Yeah.
Okay.
We already broke up at that time. But yeah, maybe that's like a long, like pretty long relationship. But other than that, it's like nothing too special.
4 years is a long time. Give you credit.
Yeah, but I think I'm a relationship guy. I mean,
You
I
aren't?
I am.
Okay.
I was single for a year. It was a lot of fun, but still, I was always like, relationship would be better.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, such a young age, have this kind of thought. I'll give it that. No DM about this, by the way, guys. Okay, so how about do you have any concerns about the society? Or it's too political. We can
It's
skip
so
that.
no, it's not. It doesn't have to be political.
Air pollution or I don't know.
But I think nowadays it's just a lot of pressure at a really young age. You see all these successful people with multimillionaires at 18, a lot of really successful people at a really young age, and you get a lot of input on social media from all these people with good physiques, very young people that are like jacked as fuck and they look so good, they're so pretty, and that puts a lot of pressure on you to look the same. And I think that's something that I don't really like about this generation. I mean, it also motivates, I mean, it depends what kind of person you are, but for me, it motivates me a little bit to try to achieve that and like to chase that a little. But it's also very toxic, I think, because usually this is the top 1% of people that, how is it? It's like really, yeah, it's, if you have Jeff Bezos as you start a business and Jeff Bezos is your role model, and you're like, if you don't achieve that, you don't feel good enough, you know, something like that. But I think that's not that good of a thing. That is, you compare yourself and you get a lot of input from very successful people, and you always compare yourself to that. And yeah, also in terms of, because I go to the gym, and I go to the gym for almost 8 years now. I started with 15 or 16, and at that time I was like, I had a picture in mind how I want to look like, and I was like, if I ever look like that, it's like a picture of Jay Park.
I don't know, but I will put the picture here.
Yeah. Like, I can show you the picture.
Okay, show me.
It was like something like that. I was like, if I ever achieve that,
you can show there. Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it, but it's really not that muscular. It's like more.
He's Asian.
Yeah, he's Asian, and I was like, oh, that's my dream physique. And now I can show you. Wait, that's his physique, and that's my last shirtless picture I posted.
Yeah.
And it looks probably bad, I would say. But I'm like, I'm so unsatisfied with my physique, because you always have, I don't know, it's like just your standards get way higher, and there are always so much more guys that look better than you, and it's toxic.
It is. To be honest, I suffer from eating disorder back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I grew up in Asia, right? As a woman,
that's a thing.
It's the thing. Yeah. And then it's not just from the society, also from my own family. And it's so crazy. So I do understand, how do you feel? And so you think the pressure is from the mainstream media to you, or from the peers to you more? Like saying, okay, younger generations are like this and that and whatever.
I think in general, what the social media shows you what a perfect person looked like.
Yeah.
I think just that in general, and you always get the comparison, like you always compare yourself. I think that's pretty toxic.
So even you post super good physique picture, doesn't mean everybody should be insecure by themselves, right?
What?
Does that mean that all the guys who follow you should be insecure of themselves? Like
shouldn't be insecure.
They should. Like, I think self-love is really important. And then when you
I feel like, of course, I also want to look the best on social media and stuff, but yeah, maybe it's like a bit. I'm saying you shouldn't compare yourself, and then I post pictures like that where people comparing themselves to me. But I think that's just social media. That's social media in general, and that's my job. So of course I have to adapt a little bit. But I think you should learn. I think a very important lesson is to love yourself without comparing yourself all the time with others. Yeah, how to say that fully, because it's my job to compare with these other guys that are like way taller and way prettier and muscular than me. But it's a process, and I think it's also very important.
Appearance is just appearance, right?
Appearance is just appearance. Yeah.
For instance, this side of you, I have never seen on your social media.
What you mean, the
like self-love, self-care, and everything?
Oh, yeah, I don't really cover those topics in my social media. My social media is more about just entertain people who scroll on social media, give them a good time for 10 seconds, entertain them for 10 seconds. Yeah, that's, I don't want to, I'm not a self-help guru. Like I don't really feel that kind of, I don't really like that kind of content for myself. So for me, it's like just more entertainment. I'm just entertaining people.
No, but I think it's so important that you are saying that appearance just appearance.
Oh yeah.
All the things on social, you shouldn't take it for like 100% because everybody has their own image, right?
Mm-hmm.
I also have my own image, and I think this kind of thing coming from you is that for a lot of people who is listening and watching,
mm-hmm.
they must be like so thankful because the influencers I follow, they sometimes have this influencer confession time. Because for me as a woman, I follow the woman who has all the luxury bags,
mm-hmm.
who has all those kind of thing, beauty thing. And yeah, thank you for sharing. I think a lot of people would love to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think of course looks matter, and
of course
it matters, but it's not what makes you happy.
And who you are. It doesn't define who you are.
Yeah. The thing is the same with me. I thought like once I reach 100K, I'm so much happier, and everything changes once I reach 100K, or once I reach a certain number of followers, and actually it just feels the same. It's the same way, just more DMs, more likes, but it doesn't really change anything. So for me, it's like right now I have 430K, and for me it feels the same as when I had 100K or when I had 50K, kind of. But I always thought like, oh, once I reach that, I'm happy. Once I reach 400K, I'm happy because then I achieved this. But actually, it's just a bigger number.
Yeah.
So if you don't love yourself and if you can't be happy, even without the success, you won't be happy when you get the success.
Yeah, I do find also another thing I observe is that Gen Z influencers are way more grounded than the previous generation. That is my personal opinion. I say what I want to say in podcasts. So I feel like the Gen Z I collab with, so far, they are more grounded, which means followers are just a number. For them, what do you say? But for the bigger, like older generation, older influencers I worked with before, they are more like riding on a high horse.
Yeah. Okay, for me, I don't, like most of my friends and the people I know are in my generation. So there are many old.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You are being who you are, which is amazing so far. Don't change that. Just improve it.
No, I can agree or disagree on that topic because I don't have really insight in the older content creator community, you know.
Yeah,
but it's interesting. I didn't. Yeah.
But just like not all. I'm not talking about all of them. Yeah. So one of the last two questions. So what do you wish you knew then that you know now?
Oh, definitely. So you mean an advice I would give my younger self?
Yeah. You know.
Or like an advice or like knowledge, or what do you mean? Like
knowledge or both.
As an advice, I would definitely say just start. Like don't plan too much, just start. That's would be my number one advice. Just start and try to improve, but just start somewhere. Do the first step. And knowledge-wise, what I wish I knew before was like that I shouldn't think too much about it. It will work out. Career-wise, yeah. Just don't think about it too much. Just do it and it will work out. Something like that. But actually, there is not really a one point I would say, oh, I wish my younger self knew that. You know, like it's a process.
Okay,
it's a process. I learned like a lot of small things over the time, and it's not like even if my younger self would sit in the room and I could give him like one advice or one tip, it would be really hard. Like it's a lot of small things I learned. It's not like one big thing.
You told me last time your podcast recorded when it was, I don't know, you had 100K followers?
Oh, the last time I recorded a podcast, I had 1,000 followers. It was this February.
1,000?
1,000, yeah. This year, February, I think I recorded my last.
Do you see yourself different? There's any difference between then and now?
No,
When you
it's
were
just the
sitting
followers. And like the
Wow.
skills and like the social media knowledge, like how the algorithm works, like more skills, but in terms of how I think and not really.
Okay, last question, because we already explored all of your past. Let's be futuristic. How do you see yourself in 5 years?
Okay, that's a pretty hard question. I just know where I want to be in general, and I just want everybody to know me.
Mm.
The celebrities that go on the street and need to have bodyguards and stuff.
Yeah.
I want that.
You want that?
Yeah, I want that. I want that. But always, even when I was a kid, I was like dreaming about this, just being famous.
Are you only kid?
No, I have a brother.
Older,
Younger brother.
Oh, okay.
And the one. Right now.
Wow, okay.
I'm 23. Yeah, 21. I just know that I want to be there, but I don't know yet how. Probably acting. I like acting a lot, but I just know that I want to be there. But yeah, I just take step by step. My next step is moving back to Europe, taking acting classes, and then the next step would maybe be moving to LA or back to Asia. I don't know. It's like everything is open, but I just know I want to be there.
Yeah.
You know.
Probably at the time when you're in the acting class, you were like, no, I need to be Adrian.
Yeah, it
Who
can
knows?
be. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I still want to try it. Like I want to try it. If I don't like it, I will find something else I want to do. But at least I want to try. I don't want to regret anything when I'm back. When I'm older, oh, maybe I could have been a good actor, but I never tried. So yeah, and now I'm young. I have energy, and I have time to do all of this. No kids, no house, no responsibilities. It's like I can just travel and try things out and find the thing I really want to do in my life.
Are you a family guy? Are you a family guy?
Yeah.
You think so?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. No, just like because you say no kids, no
Yet.
family.
But I definitely want to have one.
Not
in
that you
future.
know of. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Beep.
Yeah, no. No, yeah, I definitely want to have a family, but I'm too young now.
Okay, sure. All right. I think that's all.
That's all?
Almost all.
No questions?
No, there are actually like I have a Gen Z friend. She and her friend film a video. Want to ask you something.
Sure.
Do you up for it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Hi Adrian, as Gen Zs, we have some questions for you. My first question would be, Gen Zs are labeled as extra sensitive by other generations. What are your insights regarding this, and what would be your advice?
I think so too. Yeah, for real. I think our generation is really sensitive about a lot of stuff. And
oh man.
To be honest, I don't like it too much. I think it's also a good thing in some aspects, but sometimes it's just a little bit too much. I think.
Can you give a case?
I don't know. It's
Speaking for yourself. Yeah.
speaking for myself. It's hard to say because as I'm also working as a content creator and everything I say is public, so I don't really want to like touch controversial topics.
Yeah.
But it's just I feel like our generation, also with like internet and stuff, social media, it's very sensitive. So you can't really say anything that offends anyone without being like without getting like a shitstorm or like getting cancelled. Of course, if you say something bad, of course. But I mean like small things. I think in general our generation is a little bit too sensitive about everything.
If like you look outside from the influencer box, you still think so, or
A little bit, yeah, still a little bit. I
So-
think it's just very sensitive. Everything is. Yeah.
Are you also working on that?
What do you mean?
Not being too sensitive?
I think I'm working on not taking stuff too personal, and do more my own thing and just let people do it. I'm not talking if somebody does a crime or anything. Of course they're not, but if they say a controversial thing, I just try to of course, like, also it's hard to say if it's really bad. Of course I will say something, but I try to not get offended by like too many things. Even on social media, of course I get hate comments too, and if I would get offended by every one of those, and
you wouldn't have a life. Okay.
But yeah, I agree. I think our generation is a little bit too sensitive, and like too easily offended sometimes.
Okay, good. The next one.
Hi Adrian, my question for you is that what is the factor that sets apart Gen Z from other generations?
That's a hard one. The factor, I don't know if there's one factor, but it's definitely like being connected to the whole world. I think like this generation basically grew up. I think the next generation even more, but my generation also grew up with the internet and stuff. So compared to the past generation,
I also grew up with internet.
But it's not like you got a phone when you were like 10. When you were 10 years old, you got a phone. It's not like that probably, but yeah, probably like you have the whole world in your pocket.
Do you feel powerful or do you feel dangerous?
Yeah, definitely both. Both. Yeah, but I think there's not really one factor that sets us apart. Like Gen Z from different generations. It's pretty hard because it's a totally new generation, more technology. And like it's the same with us, with Gen Z and what's the next generation? The
Gen Alpha.
Oh, Gen Alpha, yeah. It's like more technology, even earlier, like now 5 years old. Or like people grow up with iPads, the iPad kids and stuff. Like it's just a lot of things.
Would you give your kid like a device connected with the whole world?
Maybe not that young, not as a kid.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it depends, but it's hard to say. But I think maybe with 5 or 6, starting, not earlier. Like, I see so many kids with like really small kids playing on like iPads and watching stuff on the iPad or something like that.
Yeah, because on YouTube right now the most watched contents are the kid contents because kids watching other kids what they're doing.
Yeah, it's also hard to say because I don't have kids
yet.
But yeah, I think I want to keep social media and the whole technology stuff away from them as much as possible because I also grew up like that. I think I got my first phone with 7.
Like with the internet.
Yeah, at that time internet was pretty expensive on the phone.
Okay.
But yeah.
In Europe though, not in Taiwan. Taiwan is so cheap, you know that.
Also back then, 2006.
Where was I don't even know.
But yeah, I got my first phone with 6 or 7, I think. I don't know. It's hard to say, but I will try to keep the technology away as much as possible, I think.
Okay, I will keep this footage and hopefully in the future
20 years I can rewatch it and I'm like, what the fuck did I talk about? You know?
I'm going to interview you again and then replay the footage and then let's see if you have kids.
Let's do that.
Okay, thank you so much today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, it's like so inspiring and show people a different side of you. I think it's so important and just give people a lot of motivation too if they want to start a career in a content creator.
Definitely go for it.
Yeah, see you next time.
Do the first step.
Do the first step. See you next time. Bye.